Good evening, high school football fans. This is High School Football America for August the 13th, 2015. I'm Jeff Fisher, host of the show and founder and editor-in-chief of High School Football America and highschoolfootballamerica.com. Welcome to a new chapter at High School Football America, as earlier today, Trish Hoffman and I got the proud announcement that we have partnered with USA Today High School Sports. Love everything they've been doing for years and followed the Super 25 since its beginning back in 1982 in Pennsylvania. Wondering, is your team going to be in the rankings? Well, today Trish and I were able to announce our multi-level partnership with the team there, and led by Josh Barnett, who has just been wonderful throughout the whole process. And a little bit later on the show, we're going to kick off the partnership by bringing on Jim Halley, the longtime writer there at USA Today. He's been doing the Super 25 ranking since 2007, and he's going to take us through what went into this year's top 25. De La Salle, the Spartans, number one, going after what they hope will be their sixth all-time USA Today Super 25 Mythical National Championship. They're number one in our poll, number one in Max Prep's poll, and our compilation poll came out as well. They're number one there with 120 total points. We have 5 ranking services in our comp poll this year that will come out every week of the season. But we just want to talk a little bit here at the top of how the partnership will operate, and basically it's going to be a great sharing back and forth of original content. We will be providing USA Today High School Sports several times a week with our 2-minute drill. If you haven't heard the podcast that we've been doing for the last 2 years, you need to check it out at highschoolfootballamerica.com. But USA Today High School Sports will be putting it on their website, plus up on Stitcher, which is a great app. So we expect to be exposed to more and more listeners. So we're excited about that. We're going to have more and more interviews in the 2-minute drill as we develop things over the coming months here during the 2015 football season. We're also going to be original content providers for USA Today High School Sports on their website from Southern California, as we've been spending most of this past week out in the trenches there, talking to all the coaches and players, focusing right now on the Trinity League. We're going to have a profile of all 6 teams as they go through camp on highschoolfootballamerica.com and USA Today High School Sports. The website is usatodayhss.com. So we're going to have lots of great things for you coming up over the coming months at both High School Football America and USA Today High School Sports. If you go online, you'll see we already have some content up from Southern California that we put up earlier today. So enjoy that. Lots more video coming. We also have a lot of video that went up over the last week. Last weekend on Saturday, I think I mentioned this on last week's show, we went with our good friends at Crossover down to the Miami Dolphins 2015 Southern Florida High School Football Media Day. What a great event that was held at Nova Southeastern University in Fort Lauderdale. 105 teams were there. All the biggies had a chance to talk with the teams in our National Top 25. Spoke with Roland Smith at Miami Central. Just put a soundbite up from him on the website. He says that his team, which is number 4 in our preseason poll, is playing for a national championship, and that's the goal. He put it out right out there in the press conference and said it again. He has the horses too to bring the Rockets home to their first ever mythical national championship. We also spoke with Roger Harriott, new head coach at St. Thomas Aquinas. They're number 8 in our preseason poll. Roger, I expect him to continue that tradition there. What a nice man. We had a nice long chat, and a little bit later in the show, we're going to hear some of that interview that I had with Roger, talking about his approach and all the great support he has there at St. Thomas Aquinas from the athletic director, who is their former legendary head coach, George Smith. And if you go to our website, we also had a chance to check out Sam Bruce, the 4-star All-American wide receiver. Did a couple of backflips, I think they're called back handsprings, that we were able to videotape and put that up. He's a University of Miami commit, and we put that up there. So again, go back lots each day. You're going to see lots of new video coming up over the next 2 weeks and throughout the season. Check us out. Subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss anything. Follow us on Twitter at HSFB America. on Facebook at facebook.com/High School Football America, and on Pinterest and Instagram. Talked about Crossover. I want to remind you that you need to go and get a free demo. Go to crossover.com/football. We demoed the Crossover program in South Florida at the Miami Dolphins Media Day over a dozen times, and each and every coach that looked at it, and the players too, because they would gather around their coaches, all said, wow, this is incredible. You mean I might actually get home and have dinner on time? I might be able to hang out with my wife or my family a little bit more. So you need to check out the guys at Crossover. Again, crossoverwithak.com/football. They will break down your game film. They will give you statistics. But that scouting report, the tendency stuff that you can get, it's just immeasurable on how much time it will save you. Jason Strunk, who writes the Turnaround blog for us at High School Football America, says he thinks it's going to save him in Lubbock, Texas, and West Texas about $10,000 per year. So, again, check out Crossover. Just go to our website there at highschoolfootballamerica.com. Click on the banner ads that are there, and it will take you right to where you can sign up for a free demonstration. The guys there doing a great job. And speaking of a great job, what about the guys at Echo who invented instant replay on the sidelines for you? Man, you cannot beat this, and so many people are buying the Echo system. It's echo1612.com, the 1.6.1.2. The 1612, what that stands for, is the rule that allows it to be used in high school football. The NFHS has approved it. It cannot be used in games. It can be used in practice. It cannot be used in games in Texas or Massachusetts. But Chad Cargill and the gang there at Echo, what a wonderful job. Coaches creating a product for coaches. You can do it without Wi-Fi, a cellular connection, no data plan. This is the leader. They created it. Whatever else is out there right now, folks, they're following. They're copying. And Echo has just designed it perfectly and continues to improve that product. So make sure you check them out at echo1612.com. And speaking of improving, we've been along for the ride over the last 3 years as the debris inhibitor razor, done by Southern Sport, continues to improve. Keep those pesky rubber pellets from field turf out of your shoes. I've given away all of mine. I should have actually worn them walking around on the turf fields. I was over at Tesoro High School in Southern California on, I think it was Monday, and or Tuesday maybe, but it doesn't matter. Either way, I had so many pellets in my feet, I didn't have any socks on, and just it hurts to walk on those things. They're not that, and they don't look good either, by the way, so I think I took a picture of my foot and tweeted it out there. Sorry for all of you that had to see the bottom of my foot, but I wanted to make the point that the debris inhibitor razor keeps those things out of your shoes. Also, great look for spatting, and it's yeah, they're usable throughout the entire year. They're very, very durable, machine washable. You don't have to pay $4 a roll for tape. That gets real expensive. Get a discount on your order for the 23 colors that they have when you go to TDI Razor with a U, R-A-Z-U-R, TDIRazor.com, and the code is HSFA. All right, big show ahead of us. Again, a little bit later in the show, we're going to talk with new head coach at St. Thomas Aquinas, Roger Harriott. But up next, we're going to talk with Jim Halley, the guy that puts together the Super 25, the high school football rankings for USA Today High School Sports. He's been doing it since 2007. And when we come back, Jim is going to talk about what goes into putting it together and give us his breakdown as to why he ranked the teams where he ranked them. And again, it's all part of our new relationship that we have as we become partners with USA Today High School Sports. Go to usatodayhss.com. We'll be right back. Jim Halley, after a word from all of our great partners. We'll be right back. Instant replays on a high school football sideline? Seriously? Yes, the future is here with Echo 1612's Instant Replay Sideline System. Echo's cutting-edge technology was the first to the market 2 years ago. Echo delivers instant replay to your sideline on an iPad within seconds of a play being finished so that you can make tomorrow's coaching changes today. This NFHS-approved product may be the biggest change in high school football since the invention of the helmet. Coaches, you'll gain a competitive edge by adding Echo 1612's Instant Replay Sideline System to your coaching toolbox. How cool is this? The Echo Instant Replay sideline system works with both your current booth and end zone cameras, plus, and this is an important point, Echo works without any cellular connection, data plans, or internet. The list of high school football programs using Echo 1612 system is growing daily, meaning your opponent may already have a game time advantage. You don't want to be left out, do you? The Echo 1612 advantage is simple. Echo plus an iPad equals instant replay on your sideline that improves your game planning. Seriously, you'll be making coaching adjustments in real time, not the day after. Except no copycats, Echo 1612 is the best on the market. Echo 1612's cutting-edge technology helps you make tomorrow's adjustments today. Learn more at echo1612.com. Field turf rubber pellets, be gone. The Debris Inhibitor Razor is a seamless outer sock that was specifically designed to keep crumb rubber and other fine debris from artificial or grass-playing surfaces out of an athlete's shoes and socks, thus keeping such debris out of gym bags and locker rooms. The Razor, spelled R-A-Z-U-R, is favored by athletes who want the look of tape, by trainers who no longer have the time to tape only for show, and by moms who no longer want that crumb rubber in the house. The Debris Inhibitor Razor is made in America. It's 70% nylon and 30% spandex, making it extra lightweight and very durable, and it's backed by a 1-year performance guarantee. The Debris Inhibitor Razor covers just the right amount of a player's shoe while keeping those shoelaces tight. It's fully customizable, machine washable, and more importantly, it's easy to get on and off. The Debris Inhibitor Razor comes in 23 colors, and sizes are youth, medium, large, and for that extra big foot, extra large. Founded in 2010 by former University of Mississippi All-SEC football player Carl Hoppy Langley III, Southern Sport Inc. created the Debris Inhibitor to improve athletic performance by protecting athletes, allowing them to look and feel better with technically advanced products engineered with superior fabric construction, patented design, and proven innovation. Get a discount on your order by using the High School Football America code HSFA when you order at TDIRazor.com. That's razor spelled with a U at TDIRazor.com. Listen up, football coaches. You need to check out a new scouting film solution called Crossover. That's Crossover with a K. Crossover Intelligence for Football gives you the edge you need to defeat your opponents. They not only break down and analyze scouting games for you, but they give you interactive tendency reports to diagnose your opponent's strengths and weaknesses. Crossover is your personal advanced scout, accessible from any mobile device or PC, and even integrates with your existing film platform like Huddle. Just transfer your scouting film from your existing video exchange service to the Crossover website, and in as little as 12 hours, your film will be completely indexed and tagged. Each play will become its own clip, allowing you to search the footage for anything you'd like. Their interactive down and distance reports will let you visualize your opponent's play calls in every situation or formation. Crossover Intelligence will give you the scouting edge you need to defeat your opponents. Go to crossover.com/football to sign up for a quick 5-minute demo to see how it can work for your team. That's Crossover with a K, crossover.com/football. This portion of High School Football America brought to you by Echo 1612. Coaches, you can get instant replay on your sideline on your iPad. It's real easy, it's real quick, it's state-of-the-art. Echo 1612. Learn more at echo1612.com. Well, as we said at the top of the show, just so proud to make the announcement today that we are partnering with USA Today. As I said earlier, been following them in the national rankings since the early 80s back in Pennsylvania. It was always a thrill to see your local teams in there. We had a couple back in the day, Berwick and Allentown Central Catholic, where I was from, and just excited to have this man on the show tonight to kind of kick off the partnership in a way. Earlier this week, USA Today came out with its Super 25. It's the granddaddy of them all, coming out in 1982, and if it's the granddaddy of them all, the guy that's been doing it since, I think 2003, Jim. Halley is on the line right now to talk about what's a lot of work putting together the Super 25 and the All-USA teams. And the man's been around a lot of high school sports through the years, and we're glad to have him on the show. Welcome to the show, Jim.
Well, I'm glad to be here, Jeff.
Well, like I said, it's a lot of work, and before we kind of dive into the rankings, people always ask me, how do you do it? We use an algorithm and then a little bit of opinion, and certainly 15,000 schools makes it tough, but there's that cream of the crop. So why don't we tell the listeners, start there with, what do you do to go through the process to get ready for the release of the Super 25?
Well, this year is a little different in that we did stories on most of the teams in the Super 25. So I try to identify teams that I thought might be Super 25 material and then start talking to coaches. And from that, I began doing basically, we call them way too early Super 25 stories on these teams. And, you kind of have to read the tea leaves as you're talking with these coaches. Some of them, of course, will always downmouth their teams, and it just depending on how little they downmouth the teams and, how good they are. And then others, tend to talk them up, and sometimes their worst teams are the ones they talk up the most. So, I've been doing this long enough that I kind of have a feel for it. And, a lot of the good teams, as you know, because I know you do rankings as well, it comes down to coaches. There's a lot of good players out there, but the teams that consistently win year in, year out have good players, but they also have good coaches.
Yeah.
So that's something we look at as the tradition. And you can't really dismiss that. And that's why you'll see a team like St. John Bosco. Josh Rosen's no longer there, but they're still going to be very good.
Absolutely. Actually, saw Coach Negro yesterday. Got a little video coming down on them, too. A great coach there. Jim Halley is on the line from USA Today High School Sports. Does a wonderful job of promoting student athletes, not just in football, in all sports. And he is the guy behind the Super 25. So let's dive into it. You talked about tradition. I don't know that there's a bigger tradition out there than what Bob Ladouceur started there at De La Salle, and his predecessor, Justin Allenbaugh, continuing that tradition, and they're number one in ours and number one on yours, but it's not because of tradition. They've got some good talent. Tell me a little bit about what you like about the Spartans.
Well, that's a very good point you made, because, obviously every year they have that tradition, and they have, they run the veer, to perfection, and year in, year out, that's why they've been good, because they're well-conditioned, they follow their offense. But this year they have a lot of talent in addition to that. That makes it even easier when you get to the playoffs. A guy like Devin Asiasi, he played a little bit of quarterback last year, but now he's got his natural position tight end. He's going to be a great player. They have Anthony Sweeney back, who was hurt for much of last season at quarterback, so he could be a big help. I love Boss Tagaloa. A guy like that on your defensive line that's already very solid gives them kind of a leg up. And they've got some good team speed, which is something they've often lacked. And this year, they probably have some of the best team speed they've ever had.
Jim Halley on the line tonight from USA Today High School Sports. He's been doing the Super 25 since he joined there in 2000. I think it was 2003, right, Jim? Is that when you came on board there?
I've been with USA Today since 2003, and I've been doing the rankings, I think, since the 2007 season.
Oh, okay.
Before that, I was doing NFL and NBA and golf and tennis.
Well, you're still the godfather of the rankings. That's your official title from me, at least for what it's worth. It doesn't come with any pay. It's just a good title, I guess. But anyway,
we've only had 3 guys who have ever done this, so it's kind of interesting. In 30 years, we've only had 3 guys who have done the rankings.
Oh, that's interesting. So let me ask you this, and I know this is going off topic, but since you brought that up, when you took over from the previous guy, I'm not sure who that was, but you can tell us who it was. Did he give you any advice on it, the best way to do it, or is it just like, here you go, Jim, take it over?
That was exactly the latter. Was exactly the case, because Chris Lawler, who I'm good friends with, had gone to ESPN at the time, and we're all from the start in a competitive environment, so there was no real handoff. So it was like, okay, sink or swim. And I had never, actually had done that. Never done that, but you learn fairly quickly, and maybe you learn from your mistakes, and some of the things I do now, I would never have done in the first year. When I, learning from the mistakes you make. But I think year in, year out, you start realizing, okay, this is what makes a good team. This is, this is the tradition that this school has, or, despite all this talent, this team doesn't have what it takes. So, I mean, you start seeing some things that can help you connect the dots.
Yeah, and the good thing too, Jim, is even if we do make a mistake when we do these, nobody ever says anything. Everybody's always happy, right? We got to have thick skin when it comes to the rankings. Anyway.
It's great when you get feedback, but most of the course, as you know, is going to be, it's going to be less of the attaboy category and more of the, why didn't you pick my team? But, the good thing about that is I'd rather be wrong on my own hunches than somebody else's.
There you go. I go to a neurosurgeon because somebody kept saying to me, have you lost your mind? So I figured I'd go there and see if they could officially tell me if I had one. Jim Halley is on the line tonight from USA Today, USA Today High School Sports. Check them out at usatodayhss.com. We're now part of that family and excited to be so out here in Southern California. De La Salle #1, and then the Sunshine State is shining a lot of love in the top 5 there, Jim. IMG at #2, Miami Central at #3, and St. Thomas Aquinas at #5. Lots of talent, especially among those three. Let's start with IMG first. I had a lot of pressure from people saying you shouldn't rank them. It's not a high school football program. It's different than a private, but they're in our poll. And tell me a little bit. Did you get any of that feedback going in? And what's your thoughts on IMG?
I got a little bit of feedback from that, especially from coaches, because it's a tough situation, and they're able to recruit, beyond the typical level of recruiting. They don't play for a state title, so, if they go beyond the pale in recruiting, there's a limit to how much trouble they can get to. Mm-hmm. But having said that, they're a little different than some of these other programs that popped up in basketball that, it's not like a real school. It is a real school, and they do have a fairly strict academic setup, and I'll give you an example. They had a player this past week who, I won't mention his name, but, he wasn't playing right away because he hadn't completed his summer work. And the coach, the new coach this year, Kevin Wright, who is a very respected coach out of Indiana. He was also an assistant at Western Kentucky. So he's running it like a high school program, but he's got the added advantage of, you look at their list and, whatever recruiting list you look at, they have more of the top players than any other school. Now, the hard part will be making all those pieces work together. And I think he knows that. The new quarterback there, Shea Patterson, I talked to him. He understands that's going to be a complication because you have to get everybody on the same page. So there's nothing given to them, but they play a good enough schedule. If they can't get it together, we'll find out soon enough.
Yeah, that's for sure. I was in Miami, Fort Lauderdale on Saturday for the Miami Dolphins Media Day there, and both Roland Smith from Miami Central and Roger Harriott, the new head coach at St. Thomas Aquinas, were there. I had an extended chat with both. Roland Smith made no bones about it. He made it at the podium, and then we talked about it later. They won a national championship, and he feels that they have the horses. You obviously have them at #3. What do you think of that defense? And I think they've got a pretty darn good offense too, by the way.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. They always have good skill players, but they have a great defensive line and really a very good offensive line too. This might be the best team they've had, and the only thing that would possibly hold them up from winning a national title would be, they play a very tough schedule. They could take a loss somewhere along the way, but if not, who knows? Because, they could literally shut out 6 or 7 opponents this year. I could easily see that happening. Guys like Keir Thomas and, the defensive back Janelle Cook. And, I just don't see them giving up much on the ground, especially.
I agree with you on that, and let's wrap up with the other team in the top 5, St. Thomas Aquinas. When Nick Bosa walked into the media room the other day, you looked at him and you said, this kid isn't a high school senior, and we know how good his brother is. What do you like about the Raiders?
Again, the talent, but I also like Coach Harriott. He did a great job with far less talent at university, and he's got a special connection with players. He's able to be a disciplinarian, yet get these kids to, want to play for him. And they've got a great setup there. George Smith, the athletic director, the former head coach, is a big supporter of the team. And granted, they can bring in kids from all over, South Florida, and they have done that. They have guys like Sam Bruce. Did you get to see him play much? I mean, he did moves that I haven't seen a lot of high school guys do. I mean, you would have a hard time tackling him in a closet. His moves are that good, literally. And he's not the only talented guy they have. And you mentioned Nick Bozen, and they got Michael Irvin Jr. and all this talent, and again the tradition to go with it. I mean, where else would essentially they get rid of a coach who won the 70 title, the year prior? But, I mean, they expect something beyond just winning state titles there. They won't necessarily say, because George is very conservative that way, but they want to have a national team, and they get the best players from the area.
Yeah.
Along with non-essential.
You mentioned Sam Bruce on Saturday. I'm going to put this video up. He did backflips across the gym floor there after the press conference. You'll see how elusive and talented he is when I put up that video. Jim Halley on the line tonight from USA Today. We did the top 5. We're going to kind of cherry pick it throughout here, and being based here in Southern California, a lot of listeners out here, and you've got Corona Centennial sitting there at number 7, St. John Bosco from the Trinity League sitting there at 13. Give me a little snapshot on what you like, and let's get Bishop Amat in there too. Don't want to throw them out to the wolves. They're number 24 in your poll.
Oh yeah, certainly. Well, again, Centennial was knocking on the door last year. I mean, they had a great season, and they really came on strong. They got a really nice offensive line. Their secondary, they're going to have teams are going to have a hard time passing against them. These guys like Kentrell Love and forgive me if I pronounce this right, Chacho Rulola. I'm not sure I could say that.
Close enough.
Cameron Bynum. Yeah, I mean, they really have a great secondary. And in their offense, I mean, they have their quarterback coming back, Catalona. They have, a good receiver in McKinley, so and a good running back in J.J. Taylor. So they have the nucleus of that solid offense that scored so many points last season. I think teams are, really going to have a hard time stopping them. And what was that score last year with De La Salle? I mean, how high was that total? I mean, and nobody else has been able to do that with De La Salle. So that just shows you how strong they are. And skip it down to St. John Bosco. I think their defense is going to be actually improved compared to last season. And while they don't have Josh Rosen, everybody knew what he can do. Quentin Davis is going to be really good. And if he, if they want a situation where they want somebody that maybe a little bit more mobility, they could bring Real Mitchell in. They have Sean McGrew, who is one of the few guys I actually talked to who I can see eye to eye with.
Yeah.
He might be 5'7", 5'8", but he can fly. Mm-hmm. I mean, he can really run, and having him back, and they've got again a very improved defense. Travian Beck, DJ Morgan, another really strong secondary. And then getting down to who was the other California school that we're talking about?
Bishop Amat.
Yes. Yeah. Again, they have plenty of. It's funny. You see a consistent thing with all three of these. Again, another very good secondary. Trevon Sidney and Tyler Barnes, and they got Sweet at running back, and they've got two very good quarterbacks. Now, my concern is the team's defense, and knowing that they're going to be playing some good Trinity League teams, modern day, Servite early, we'll find out. But I think they're a program that's on the rise. Actually, I thought I picked them lower than some people. Others think they're going to even be better than I have them. So my only concern, again, was that defense and the fact that they haven't won a state title in recent years yet. So I'm kind of playing a waiting game, but I know they're they're going to be very much improved.
Oh, yeah, they are. They're just outside of our top 25, but very, very talented. Jim Halley on the line tonight from USA Today High School Sports. Again, go to usatodayhss.com. It's not just football, folks. They're doing a great job of bringing together all the stuff that publicizes student athletes, coaches, schools, and therefore communities. And before we let you go here, we will talk a little All-USA team in a second. But if I didn't hit Texas here, I'd get hit by Texas is the best way to put it. But you got, let's see, you got DeSoto in there, you got Cedar Hill, you got Allen, which is, on that long win streak, and you also have Manville in there. So why don't we just kind of give a little snapshot on all four of them?
Sure. Well, Allen, of course, they lost the guy who's our All-USA Offensive Player of the Year in Kyler Murray. But again, it's a huge school. They've got great talent. They've got a very good coach, Tom Westerberg. You don't give him enough credit because he's so low-key, but they year in, year out, that's a system. And, a guy like Greg Little, for example, on your offensive line, it's one of those kind of hidden things. You don't realize how much an impact a left tackle like that can have on your offensive line. Cedar Hill is going to be good every year, and they do have a new coach, but they've got maybe better talent coming back. Avery Davis is going to be special. His coach just gushed about how good he's going to be, and that's again when we talk about reading the tea leaves. I think he's trying to tell people, hey, this guy's going to be really good. Kagan Williams, who transferred from Stephenville, running back's going to be really good. Going down to Manville, if I'm forgetting any of my other Texas teams.
Well, we got DeSoto in there, but that's okay. Go whichever way you want.
Well, no. I mean, I could go back to DeSoto and just get back with them before I forget. DeSoto again, year in, year out, is always going to be there. Another situation where they have a new coach, but I think Todd has been around. He knows the system. They have a really good wide receiver. They had some guys last year who kind of had to wait behind their starters, and I think you're going to be surprised at how well they play. Now, going to Manville, they got to the 6A2 quarterfinals last year, and they have this quarterback, Gerald King, who had 97 passing touchdowns in his career, and he's coming back, and they have a backup who just committed to Florida. That's how deep they are. You've got a really good offensive line, and there's two really good wide receivers in Reggie Henfield-Max and Devon Penniman. So I think offensively they're going to be very strong. Kind of like Bishop Lamont, but the one question is going to be their defense.
Yep, I agree with you on that. Jim Halley on the line tonight, talking Super 25. We'll hop out of that, and there's with all these privates not wanting to be played by others, we're getting some cool, interstate matchups. There are more and more each year. The big schools playing the big schools. Any games that you've kind of circled, saying, "Boy, I can't wait to see how this one turns out"?
Oh, yeah. Well, there's several of them. In fact, we just released a couple. I'm trying to think the games. I kind of blanked on the actual games in front of me, but one early one, obviously, is, De La Salle gets an early test. And even though they're not in, the other team isn't in the top 25, they're always good, and that's Trinity, and it's going to be at Trinity in Euless, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be at Trinity, so that'll be an interesting test for De La Salle, and we'll see how they handle it. IMG, they go up to, they go up to Paramus Catholic early, so that'll be a pretty good test for them. Miami Central, the game with Booker T. Washington is always important. Again, that's what's cost them perhaps the national title last two seasons. Is the one loss they had was the Booker T. Washington, and maybe our thinking is that Booker T. might be a little down this year with a complete change, in coaching. So we'll see how that goes. And Bishop Gorman, they play Chandler early, and Chandler is also ranked, and Chandler is much improved and has some great athletes. And I like Bishop Gorman's quarterback Tate Martell. And, I think maybe by the end of the season they may be better than they were last year, which is kind of scary. But they're another one that seems to have basically just reloaded. And again, while they have a new coach, it's Kenny Sanchez, so it's not like anything's going to change as far as the system. And, kind of like how Justin Allenbaugh did the same thing. He was smart enough not to change too much from De La Salle system when he came in, and he's been very successful sticking to that plan with just a few tweaks.
If it's not broke, don't worry about trying to fix it. Jim Halley on the line. We're going to wrap up here. You also put together the All-USA team. You put out the offense and defense preseason. I think that one's a little bit of a bigger chore. I know we have the recruiting services out there that help, but give us, beyond the stars, who are a couple of the kids that America should take notice of this year that can have big years, or maybe just some guy that's kind of under the radar that could have a breakout year?
Well, it's funny you're saying that because I just talked to Steve Clarkson, the quarterback coach, yesterday, and he was telling me about a kid that is a 7th grader. It's amazing how advanced these things are getting. But there's a couple guys out there that maybe not among the top guys, but I think like Shane Simmons as the Master Catholic. Defensive end, he's committed to Penn State. He's a great player with great intensity. Dexter Lawrence at Wake Forest in North Carolina. Again, a top guy, and he plays for a team that was a state runner-up. And I was just watching, like you almost said, film. But I was watching video.
Yeah, we're old. That's okay.
I can't get that out of my head. But I was watching yesterday him on video, and it was so fun to watch because he was literally swallowing up, kind of like Pac-Man with running backs. The guy's so big and so fast. He's being double teamed every time, and he's blowing up plays. And guys like obviously Roger Harriott, another exciting guy, defensive end that comes in and it got a nice combination of strength and quickness and tremendous. He's got 3 different trainers that he works with besides his high school team. So these are guys that are driven. Some other guys that, I don't know if anybody's going to be completely, it's kind of hard to say you have a complete unknown these days, but, there's so many good guys out there, but like a Dylan Singleton at Archer, he's going to be a really good safety. And I really, speaking of Archer, Kyle Davis, it just has great body control as a wide receiver. A big guy that's going to get open and yet has the speed to get away from some of these small guys and can also run over them. So I'm really excited about seeing some of these guys that we picked for the All-USA team and some others that will probably break through that you and I don't even know about yet.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Jim, thank you so much for joining us. We're happy to be a part of your family, and anything that you need from us out here in Southern California, just a phone call away, and look forward to having you on the show many times here in the future. But thanks for all you do for those student athletes and coaches and schools out there. And just like I said, happy to be a part of it, and thanks for joining us on the show tonight.
Hey, and congratulations on the 3rd anniversary there.
Thank you very much. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we are going to go to South Florida. Roger Harriott going to stop by and talk a little bit about those Raiders and why they are so highly ranked. He's excited. That and more. You're listening to High School Football America. Instant replays on a high school football sideline? Seriously? Yes, the future is here with Echo 1612's Instant Replay Sideline System. Echo's cutting-edge technology was the first to the market 2 years ago. Echo delivers instant replay to your sideline on an iPad within seconds of a play being finished so that you can make tomorrow's coaching changes today. This NFHS-approved product may be the biggest change in high school football since the invention of the helmet. Coaches, you'll gain a competitive edge by adding Echo 1612's Instant Replay Sideline System to your coaching toolbox. How cool is this? The Echo Instant Replay Sideline System works with both your current booth and end zone cameras, plus, and this is an important point, Echo works without any cellular connection, data plans, or internet. The list of high school football programs using Echo 1612 system is growing daily, meaning your opponent may already have a game time advantage. You don't want to be left out, do you? The Echo 1612 advantage is simple. Echo plus an iPad equals instant replay on your sideline that improves your game planning. Seriously, you'll be making coaching adjustments in real time, not the day after. Except no copycats, Echo 1612 is the best on the market. Echo 1612's cutting-edge technology helps you make tomorrow's adjustments today. Learn more at echo1612.com. Field turf rubber pellets, be gone. The debris inhibitor razor is a seamless outer sock that was specifically designed to keep crumb rubber and other fine debris from artificial or grass playing surfaces out of an athlete's shoes and socks, thus keeping such debris out of gym bags and locker rooms. The razor, spelled R-A-Z-U-R, is favored by athletes who want the look of tape, by trainers who no longer have the time to tape only for show, and by moms who no longer want that crumb rubber in the house. The debris inhibitor razor is made in America. It's 70% nylon and 30% spandex, making it extra lightweight and very durable, and it's backed by a 1-year performance guarantee. The debris inhibitor razor covers just the right amount of a player's shoe while keeping those shoelaces tight. It's fully customizable, machine washable, and more importantly, it's easy to get on and off. The debris inhibitor razor comes in 23 colors, and sizes are youth, medium, large, and for that extra big foot, extra large. Founded in 2010 by former University of Mississippi All-SEC football player Carl Hoppy Langley III, Southern Sport Inc. created the debris inhibitor to improve athletic performance by protecting athletes, allowing them to look and feel better with technically advanced products engineered with superior fabric construction, patented design, and proven innovation. Get a discount on your order by using the High School Football America code HSFA when you order at TDIRazor.com. That's razor spelled with a U at TDIRazor.com. Listen up, football coaches. You need to check out a new scouting film solution called Crossover. That's Crossover with a K. Crossover Intelligence for Football gives you the edge you need to defeat your opponents. They not only break down and analyze scouting games for you, but they give you interactive tendency reports to diagnose your opponent's strengths and weaknesses. Crossover is your personal advanced scout, accessible from any mobile device or PC, and even integrates with your existing film platform like Huddle. Just transfer your scouting film from your existing video exchange service to the Crossover website, and in as little as 12 hours, your film will be completely indexed and tagged. Each play will become its own clip, allowing you to search the footage for anything you'd like. Their interactive down and distance reports will let you visualize your opponent's play calls in every situation or formation. Crossover Intelligence will give you the scouting edge you need to defeat your opponents. Go to crossover.com/football to sign up for a quick 5-minute demo to see how it can work for your team. That's Crossover with a K, crossover.com/football. Welcome back to High School Football America. If you're just joining us, big day at High School Football America as Trish Hoffman and myself announcing our partnership with USA Today High School Sports. Just had Jim Halley, the creator of the Super 25, on to talk about their rankings. Lots to come in our multi-level partnership over the coming year, as the 2-minute drill will appear at USA Today, HSS.com. Also on Stitcher, we'll be providing Southern California content. Lots of video on both websites coming throughout the course of the next couple of months, and just so happy to be a part of the USA Today High School Sports family. Again, I mentioned it at the top, Director of Content, Josh Barnett. What a great guy to work with. Really thinks the way Trish and I do when it comes to storytelling and the way we should present the stories about student athletes, coaches, high schools, and communities. So couldn't be tied up with a better group of people, and looking forward to the year ahead. Speaking of video, we got a lot of video up on the website right now from our trip to Fort Lauderdale last weekend as we traveled with Crossover. They were down there demoing the product at the Miami Dolphins 2015 South Florida High School Media Day. 105 schools in attendance, and shout out to Larry Bluestein, who is just a great guy who's been around the sport for a long time, helping kids. He sat there and just cranked out a ton of questions over 10 hours as every coach brought in 5 players, and Larry did a wonderful job, and I told him this, of just making everybody feel special. We had a chance to talk with a lot of coaches, put up some video Well, we put up the cool video we put up last night was of Sam Bruce from St. Thomas Aquinas, the 4-star recruit going to the University of Miami right now as far as his verbal's concerned. Sam Bruce, who wears number 6, doing some back handsprings. Didn't stick the landing on the first go-round, so he tried it a second time and did it perfectly. I was talking to head coach Roger Harriott at the time that he was doing that, and we were just both laughing at how athletic Sam Bruce is. He is the nephew of NFL star Isaac Bruce, and expect great things out of Bruce and the rest of the Raiders this year. We have him number 8 in the High School Football America rankings, number 5 overall in the USA Today Super 25. So we've got that up there. Have some sound up there from Roland Smith from Miami Central, number 4. In our high school poll, high school top 25 preseason, which is an algorithm with a little bit of opinion in it, but we go all algorithm. Our first poll will not be released until Sunday, September the 6th, once we get some games into it, and then it will be released every Sunday. We're always first to market with our High School Football America top 25. So we had Roland Smith, who was on the show back in May, I believe. Yeah, it was May when he was named the NHSCA, National High School Coaches Association, High School Football America National Coach of the Year. Talked about that honor and what a great team he has coming back. His thoughts have not changed. He took to the podium during the press conference, and then I talked to him afterwards and said, yeah, Coach, you just said the goal is a national championship. Pretty lofty. They're going for their 4th straight Florida State Championship, and he said, yep, Jeff, that's what it is. Going to play a tough schedule, and we believe we have the horses to win it, and that is the goal. Of course, Miami Central, the only 2 losses that they've suffered in the last 2 years to Booker T. Washington. That's all that stood between them and a possible national championship. Of course, our national champion over the last 3 years, the Allen Eagles, have won it 2 years straight outright. The 3rd year, 2012, they shared it with John Curtis. That was when we were just doing the opinion polls. So, and the Eagles start number 2. We have them the highest. You can check out our compilation poll, by the way, at highschoolfootballamerica.com. So a lot of video up there. Also up there, aside from the backflipping Sam Bruce, is Roger Harriott, the new head coach at St. Thomas Aquinas. A lot of pressure on him taking over a program that has won a couple of mythical national championships, 8 Florida State championships. They won the 7A title last year. Lots of talent back. They lost a lot, but lots of talent back. And had a chance to talk to Roger on a wide array of topics. And the first was pressure. Does he feel any pressure taking over the Raiders?
Well, when you have the type of support, that I'm receiving from our administrative group, then Father Vincent Kelly and George Smith, who established the tradition, they're great at helping you acclimate to the program, and they train you with regards to what to expect. And it's a benevolent, loving environment. So I don't really feel a whole lot of pressure. I have high expectations just in general. I'm driven that way as a man. I'm a devoted husband and father of 5 children. And I take that type of mentality onto the field with me. So I understand what my expectations are as a coach. It goes beyond the field, and I pride myself on being an educator and a mentor and a role model. And it's the same way I treat my wife and children. So when we're out on the field, I encourage the coaches to inspire our kids and also parent as we go through the season.
Now, Harriott's no stranger to good programs. He turned around University School, and in 2012 they won a state championship in Florida and also finished highly ranked in the 2012 High School Football America National Rankings, finishing in the 11th spot. So he knows a thing or two about how to handle talent. The next question I asked Roger Harriott, the new head coach at St. Thomas Aquinas, is what type of coach he is. What's his foundation? What's the thumbprint that he puts on a program?
And I'm a pretty steady guy, with regards to staying focused on the organizational behavior aspect of it and developing interpersonal skills and requiring our coaches to do the same throughout the program with our student athletes. And, I think we do an exceptional job of developing an environment of interdependence. And as a result, we're we establish a family atmosphere. And the guys are looking great, and I'm proud of their development, and I'm excited about the direction that we're heading in, and I'm looking forward to working closely with Coach Schmidt. I've always admired him as a person and what he's done for our community and football in general, as a whole. And, I feel blessed and honored to be by his side.
Next question for Roger Harriott, the first-year head coach at St. Thomas Aquinas, had to do with camp. What's he looking for from his team during the fall camp that's going to let him know that they're ready to make a run at things and live up to those national rankings?
Number one, you're looking for team camaraderie. I want to see how they handle adversity amongst each other. The type of individual that's going to point fingers, or the type of team that's going to, come together and demonstrate true compassion for one another and support as the going gets tough. I'm also going to be looking for intensity and the competitive nature.
Again, that's Roger Harriott, head coach at St. Thomas Aquinas in his first year. Had a chance to ask him also about national rankings, what he thinks of them. He said, I love them. It's a great, you keep it all in perspective, but at St. Thomas Aquinas in Florida, they relish the fact that they can play for national championships. So, again, thanks to our friends at Crossover, as went down there with them, enjoyed the time immensely at the Miami Dolphins Media Day for high school football. It was at Nova Southeastern University. All the coaches that saw Crossover, they loved it. And congratulations to the Miami Dolphins, who came up with the idea 3 years ago, and really reaching down into the roots of football. 105 schools there. All of the coaches and players very energetic, happy to be there, part of a big day that ties into the NFL, and a lot of good talent there in that room. And one of these days, sometime soon, I know some of those kids are going to be playing on Sundays, maybe with the Dolphins, who knows. But anyway, it was a lot of fun, and thanks to our good friends at Crossover. And speaking of our good friends, I want to thank Echo 1612. Coaches, if you haven't looked at it yet, you need to. It's not too late. The season's right around the corner. Hey, by the way, Hawaii started last weekend. Alaska gets started this weekend. Exciting times in America. And anyway, you need to check it out. The instant replay comes onto your iPad. It is the program that developed instant replay for high school programs on the sideline. Chad Cargill and company at Christian Heritage Academy in Oklahoma. Coaches building it for coaches. You can get it right on the iPad. Everybody else is copying this. These guys got it first. Echo1612.com. You can do it without a data plan, Wi-Fi connection, cellular connection. This product is impeccable. And also want to thank our good friends at Southern Sport, the makers of the TDI Razor, R-A-Z-U-R, Razor with a U, TDIRazor.com. Use the code HSFA to get a discount on your order. 23 great colors, gives you the great look of spatting without that high cost of tape, and more importantly, those pesky rubber pellets, they are kept out of your shoes. And finally, once again, just so proud, Trish Hoffman and I beaming ear to ear all day long. It's been a great 8 months of conversations with Josh Barnett and company at USA Today High School Sports, and just looking forward to an incredible 2015. Also want to thank Jim Halley tonight for coming on the show and giving us the inside peek at how he put together the USA Today Super 25, and look forward to having him on the show throughout the course of time. Again, you can hear our 2-minute drill on usatodayhss.com. They'll also have it on Stitcher, so we're going to be talking about that next week. Just wow, a lot of fun. It's time to go out and celebrate a little bit. Thanks to Scott Z in Ohio for keeping the show running ever so smoothly. And we'll talk to you again next week. But for now, this is Jeff Fisher saying good night and good sports from sunny Southern California. You've been listening to High School Football America, a partner with USA Today High School Sports, and this is the Artist First Radio Network.